How are you?
I am so good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Oh, you're
Mhm.
so welcome. You look so good.
Thank you, I just had practice, so that's a compliment.
Oh, awesome. Uh,
Mm.
I'm guessing you all started back like last week, maybe?
We had lift and open gym last week, and then we just started with the coaches this Monday.
Okay, cool. I know every
Mhm.
team's different and spring season it's a lot. So
Yes,
lots of
100%.
work. So
Mhm.
are you back 100% then?
I'm basically there, yep. So,
Oh, we love to
100%.
see
But,
that.
yeah, I've been doing every drill, I've been in all practices, which I couldn't really say for the last year and a half, so I'm very thankful I'm here. Mhm.
Okay, perfect. And
Yes.
for people that don't love Minnesota volleyball, do you want to give kind of a background, who you are, what, year and all that position? And I mean, if they don't know who you are, that's crazy, but you never know. So,
Yes, my name is McKenna Wucherer. I will be a fifth year senior outside this year at Minnesota, and I'm originally from Brookfield, Wisconsin.
perfect. All right, thanks so much for that. And then I was gonna dive into like the injury thing, but we can talk about
Mhm.
that later if you want, unless you want to go ahead and tell me. I don't even know all the ins and outs of it, but I knew it was a low back injury, right? Like a
Yeah.
disc issue, I think. But obviously most schools try to keep that hush hush until you're healthy.
Yeah.
So if as much as you want to talk about it, you can. But
Mhm.
I was looking super forward to you last season, especially with the crazy. I feel like oh, I was so excited, and then I feel like Minnesota could not catch a break last year with all the injuries and still played so well all
Yeah.
season. So I was still excited with how they finished. But
Mhm.
if you want to go into your injury and kind of like what that's been like for you.
Yeah. So honestly, I first started having pain in May of 2024 when we went on our foreign tour in Europe. And I wasn't really sure. I mean, I haven't had a lot of pain, in my back
Mhm.
before. So I was like, I'm good. Like, I'll just kind of rub it off. So I went home. We got some imaging done, and not like it's hard to get backs image because I feel like not a lot of stuff shows up. And I feel like
Mhm.
all the people I've talked to who were like in my shoes with a back injury, they said the same thing. So it honestly took a very, very long time to get where I needed to be. And, my athletic training staff, my coaches, they would do everything to try and help me, just getting to the doctors, getting second opinions, all of this stuff. So it dated all the way back to May of 2024. And then, um, yeah, I mean, a lot of injections, a lot of procedures to get here, but I was very lucky that it's not a disc.
Okay, so not a
I'm
disc. Okay.
yes, I'm very fortunate that it's not a disc. I think discs are really hard to fix, especially like
Mhm.
because I'm so young. I think that would have been a really hard injury to come back from. So, mine was more facet joints, that kind of thing. That was not really having it. I mean, I actually broke my tailbone when I was 12 years old. So a lot of the tailbone pain that I've been having was low key affecting my back. So it's
Mm,
been kind of intertwined. It's hard to tell like what's my back, what's my tailbone, what's muscular, what's structure, what's bone,
mhm.
all that stuff. So yeah, a lot of time to get here, but finally we're here and we've done everything possible and I'm feeling great. So I'm fortunate that it wasn't a disc and we're here.
Yep,
Hmm.
perfect. And going into like last season, I kind of thought you were going to play. So was it just like you didn't feel 100% and you wanted to make sure you felt 100%, or was it still super debilitating, or what kind of made you all choose, "Hey, I'm going to take this season and really get to 100% so I don't get worse." Like what kind of went into that decision making for you all?
100%. Good question. I feel like I've gotten a lot of questions surrounding that. I feel like a lot of people aren't really supportive of my decision that way. But so last preseason, I was just going as if I was going to play. Obviously, I wanted to play. We have Julia, we have Stella. Like, this was our year. We have Zaynab, Kalissa, all of these amazing pieces. And I was like, this is going to be a great year for me to come back, especially
Hmm.
after the whole past year, even in I think it was 24 that I played hurt the whole year and I was
Hmm.
just miserable and I didn't want to play anymore but I didn't want to play anymore in terms of my health, but I wanted to play because I love these girls so much and I love the
Hmm.
program so much that it was just so hard to step away from it. And you know, Keegan and I have a really good relationship, so when he says like I'm going to take you in the front row, like you can help us in this position, then I'm going to help, So and it was also with my imaging, it was really hard for me to get a medical red shirt because we didn't know if it was going to be enough information to pursue that
Hmm.
that year. So I was like, I don't want to risk it. I don't want to use a year of eligibility just to waste. because you only get 4 years in college. You have to make the most of
Mhm.
it. So I was like, I'm just going to play through it. I'm going to help my team in any way possible. And obviously, it wasn't the year that I wanted. So we moved into 25. I'm playing in preseason. I'm feeling okay. And then we get to the second week, and I think a lot of the stuff that was bothering me was the rotation. So
Mhm.
I was really struggling in receive. I couldn't really rotate the way I needed to rotate. And even I couldn't really hit down the line because of that rotation. And especially like sprawling, like going to the floor, also really bothered me. So I think when we got to the second and third week of preseason, you could just tell like I wasn't like healthy. I was struggling. I would be wincing after a lot of swings I took,
Mhm.
and it just didn't feel natural. It didn't feel like the right thing to pursue. So Keegan and I eventually talked about it, and he's like, "What do you think's the best decision for you?" And I was like, "I think I should redshirt and I should get healthy because if I try and play hurt again and it's my senior year, I'm gonna leave a lot of
Mhm.
regrets on the floor." And I grew up saying like, you don't want to leave any regrets. You're in college for 4 years. You're not in college for your whole life, so you
Mhm.
have to make the most of it. And Keegan's like, I agree. Like, I want you to be 100% healthy. I want you to have the best year in the maroon and gold possible. And it just wasn't my luck last year. So that's kind of how we got here. Mm.
And I like that conversation that Keegan had with you because
Mm.
I won't name names, but I do know in the past other programs at, big top 25 schools, they will let a player just play their body till the grave, even when it hurt. And they're like, well, I need you this year, so it is what it is kind of thing. And it bothers me a lot because as
Mhm.
somebody I've dealt with some major injuries myself, it's like, and I played for it with a torn ACL for a while, and
Yeah.
it's like doable, but very, very, very difficult, and it certainly does not help you in the long run. So I like that you were like, no, I want to get healthy and have a great year, and
Mhm.
everything happens for a reason. And given all the injuries Minnesota had last year, I think it was probably the best decision you could have made
Mhm.
because you know what I mean, just a healthy squad this year. I think it was a great decision, but I really like that he had. I really like Keegan. I don't know a lot about him, but I was actually that kind of leads me to the next thing. Is I know we talked a little before about how you were recruited by Hugh and played 1 year with Hugh, and what that transition looked like. A lot of people will leave when a coaching change happens, and what made you decide to stay versus go. And I really like Keegan. I think, especially Keegan's first year, there was a lot of things happening that would have been tough to navigate as a first year coach at a program. So kind of whatever you want to talk about with all that.
Yeah, I would say just bouncing back off the injury and like having such a good relationship with Keegan. I think a lot of people don't realize how personable Keegan is. Like, he's the person I go to for everything, like everything personal. Like, he's there for me, everything volleyball, he's there for me. And just being able to have such an open, honest communication with my coach is something I will never take for granted. I am so fortunate to have that relationship with him. And I think, like, even now when I'm in practice, like, I'll go for a ball and he'll be like, "Are you all right? Like, are you feeling okay?" Like, he checks in on me so much. And
I
I'm
like
really,
that.
really fortunate to have that because I think yesterday I there was we were playing baby court and I was at like the 15-foot line and the ball landed at the two, and I'm someone who goes for every single ball, and if
Mhm.
I don't, like, he literally said like, "I saw you didn't go for that ball, like I need to check on you because that's just like not like you." So like he knows us so well, and like he knows when I'm feeling okay, he can tell when I'm not feeling okay, and like it's just so easy for I was I've communicated this with him, but I was so scared to come back and like like just in the world of college sports, like people move on from you really quickly, like
Definitely.
if you're hurt, he's going to go find a new player. And I'm very, very fortunate that that was not Keegan. He was like, "I'm going to be here with you through it all, and I want you to
Oh,
succeed in the maroon and gold, like you're our girl." And he believes in me so much, and just like hearing that in like 2026 college sports is like extremely rare.
totally.
Yeah, like if you're hurt, like next girl up. And
Yeah.
yeah, I think, oh, it gets me emotional, honestly. It's just like having someone who believes in me that much, and just, still seeing my final year here is, I hope, going to be amazing. And just all the belief, confidence, time he's waited for me to come back. I'm
Mhm.
just extremely blessed. And then moving into the transition, I don't think a lot of people see how hard it is to coach first year teams who you have no relationships with any of the girls. So yeah, I committed to Minnesota in 8th grade under Hugh. So I
Oh,
was
yeah, before the
super,
rule
super young.
change.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was super, super young. And I mean, I'm from Wisconsin. It's 5 hours from home. It was a great program, great academics. I'm really into school. So it kind of all aligned, and 5-hour drive was super nice. So high quality volleyball, high quality athletics, close to home in the Big Ten. Like, what else could I really ask for? So that's why I committed super early. And I played my first year for Hugh. Absolutely love him. He still works in our athletic department
Mhm.
today. I talk on the phone as much as I can with him, and I forever value our relationship. He is the absolute best. He's so technical, and I feel like I got a lot of my technicality from Hugh and Matt and Jenny and that whole staff my freshman year. Um, yeah, I mean, I would be lying if I say I wasn't devastated that he left. I In the middle of the year too, so that was even harder. So
You're
we're
right.
all left like lingering like in the middle of the year. I think it was like November, like who's gonna stay, who's gonna leave, while we're trying to play Big Ten matches, you know?
Right.
So it was definitely hard, but he was a family guy. He needed to raise his kids. Like that was the best thing for him. And he's obviously still super connected with our program today. But yeah, I was completely devastated, and then that left me kind of wondering, like, what do I do? But at the end of the day, like, I've been committed to Minnesota for so long, so I was gonna wait it out no matter what, even though it was truly heartbreaking. So
Yeah.
I waited it out, and I remember like the day that Keegan got hired, I was like sleeping in because it was an off day. And I wake up to my phone and there's like 20 people on the team called me. Like the staff, everyone was calling me. And I was like, what is happening? Like last night they just said they didn't hire a coach and that we weren't in the final process yet.
Mhm.
And then I wake up the next morning and they're like, get on the Zoom. Like they're hiring a coach right now. And I'm like, what do you mean? I just got told yesterday we weren't hiring a
Right.
coach. So then our assistant AD at the time said like Keegan Cook is going to be your volleyball coach. And the first memory I have with Keegan, and I don't even know if he remembers this. I've talked to him one time about it, but when I was training with USA Volleyball in Anaheim with Jamie Morrison,
Mhm.
Keegan Cook was just sitting on the sidelines watching our practices. I never had any
Mhm.
interactions with him, but like we've kind of crossed paths in the USA gym, but I just knew from his success at Washington, the Final Fours, the Pac-12
Mhm.
championships, how many players of the year he coached, that I had to give it a shot. I couldn't just walk away from someone with that much like that big of a record and that many
Mhm.
achievements that I'd be kind of dumb to leave. That's kind of how I felt about it cuz I know he's involved with USA Volleyball. I want to be involved with USA Volleyball. So I knew he
Right.
could get me to the places that I want to be. And yeah, here we are. Still 4 years into it and I love it.
I love that. I think a lot of times you have to remember, like, when you commit to a school, like, they're not gonna leave you high and dry. Like, you look at
Mhm.
another place that did something that had a really good transition was, like, Louisville. Like, I don't think they lost anybody when the
Mhm.
transition happened, and it's like, if you really trust the process, like, it's all gonna work out.
Mhm.
But I really do like Hugh McCutcheon. One of my best friends is Adriana Nora, and she was the right side at Minnesota in ooh, I'm not gonna age her, but she's like I think she was the right side before Steph Samity.
Okay.
And she
Yeah.
sings Hugh's praises all the time. She
Mhm.
is like, very low error volleyball,
Yeah.
which I think Minnesota
Mhm.
still kind of uses that
Yeah.
mentality. And like you said, is super technical coach. So I know
Mhm.
I mean, I didn't have to play for him, obviously, but I was like super upset to see him go. I would
Yeah.
love to see him back in the USA gym personally, but
Yes.
thought he was one of the best that ever did that.
Mhm.
And then I've always just really liked Keegan's, his presence. I think he's just like similar to me when I coach my 18s this year. It's just like very calm, very technical. There's not a lot of some coaches. I don't want to use the word mean, but like it doesn't work, especially with girls. Like girls are emotional
Yeah.
players, and so you have to be aware that if you're too harsh on some players,
Mhm.
that it's going to make them play worse. And I don't think I get that from him at all. I think he's just a very positive coach, at least looking at it from the outside.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with Keegan, like I said, is like we'll talk on the phone like honestly every day. We'll FaceTime every day. Like we talk all the time. And I think he does such a good job about getting to know us as people,
Mhm.
not just all volleyball. It's not like come in the gym and perform, but like he all knows us personally, our families, our background, everything about him. And I mean, if he tells us that as it is, like we know it's just because he cares so much about us.
Mhm.
So yeah, like he's super calm, he's technical, but like coaches are gonna get on you at some point. But like
Right.
what I love about him is like we all know it's because he cares so much about us and like we all want to win. And what he's telling us is only going to help us win in the future.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Oh, well, I love that, and I do have a couple things, kind of not to change subject harshly, but given the number of, obviously nobody can control injuries. They
Yeah.
happen. It is like
Mhm.
the worst thing to ever happen. But are there going to be maybe some changes made in the training
Mm.
given how many, I mean, gosh, again, it's just super unlucky how many you all
Yeah.
had to suffer last season, but is there
Mhm.
like maybe some more rehab prehab that's going to happen? Like is there anything, was that talked about at all with in the weight side of things for next season or anything?
Yeah, I mean, for the whole 5 years I've been here, we lift every day on top of
Mhm.
volleyball, and we warm up for 15 minutes, we cool down, we roll out, we do all the things, and, I mean, our trainer and our strength coach, they've been here for 20 plus years, and I
Oh
wouldn't
boy.
be who
Okay.
I am without them. Like, they are kind of the boss of our program. They are amazing people, amazing human beings. Like, they're basically my second moms. Like, I'm
Oh,
in
I
there
love
every single
that.
day. And I think they're just so good at what they do, and I just think we
Mhm.
had so much misfortune, but
Yeah.
we've always done a whole bunch of single leg stuff in the weight room, like that's always been a huge thing for volleyball, whether it's like RDLs, single leg squats, stretching, all of that stuff. And I think it was just terrible misfortune. Like
Yeah.
they are so well known in our athletic training program. I mean, our trainer's like the top trainer in the whole university. So it just really sucks. I mean, they haven't had that many injuries
Right.
in like 20 years. Like,
Yeah.
it was shocking. And I mean, it started with me, but like mine was a little different than
Mhm.
everything else. But I think this could just go for volleyball as a whole. Like, I've really emphasized this over the past 2 years with my back is just landing on 2 feet.
Landing on 2
It's
feet.
so hard to do. But once you kind of like think about it and think about it more, like it'll
Mhm.
just become natural. And I feel like I've gotten actually really good at it over the past 2 years because I realized that every time I would land on one leg, like, my back would hurt, and it would always be my left
Mhm.
side, and I'm like, wonder why that would be." But I actually landed on my left leg, like, my first years, like, solely only my left leg.
Mhm.
And sure, that could have been a part of it. Sure, it could have been weightlifting. Sure, it could have just been, like, my tailbone causing those problems, but
Mhm.
I've really tried to work on it, and it's one of the hardest things to do is just break that habit, but we've been working on it a lot, and I think it's gonna pay off for us in the future. I do just think we got dealt our
Yeah.
fair share of misfortune, but they're
Y
gonna come back better than ever, and
yeah.
we all trust them too, so they're working their butts off in recovery, and yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, I agree. I think you all just got super unfortunate with it, but
Mhm.
I will say as somebody who has also I've torn my ACL twice,
Yeah.
I will say I play better volleyball now than I did before. And I think
Yeah.
that if you rehab
Mhm.
correctly, I jump higher and everything. Like
Mhm.
it's very much not a death sentence ever. But
Yeah.
landing on 2 feet is something that after you get injured, you will never
Yes.
do again because I do not land on one anymore. And I
Same.
tell people all the time,
Mhm.
like when I coach, if I have a girl that lands on one, I will pull them and be like, we're gonna
Yes.
work on
Smart.
rotating your hips through the swing
Smart.
because
Yeah.
yeah, like
Mhm.
especially I'm like, I know your low back hurts, I know your hips hurt, and I know your knees
Yes.
hurt. You have to
Yeah.
land on two or you're gonna just keep getting hurt. And so I definitely, yeah, that's like my biggest pet peeve is like letting outside hitters just land
Mhm.
on one for years. It's so
Yeah.
hard. And like people don't fix it till they have an issue, unfortunately.
And I think, well, Keegan and I have talked about this too. There's going to be times where you're going to have to land on one foot. Like
Right, right,
you just can't
absolutely.
avoid that. Like if it's a
Right.
tight set, like it's going to be really awkward to like come down on 2 feet because it's so tight. Like you have
Mhm.
to reach really far for it. And if I'm reaching, like I don't just want my like two little legs to be like straight. Like I'm going to have to
Right.
bend one and land on one. So yes, there's always going to be situations where you're going to have to, but those moments where you can control and land on two
Absolutely.
feet, it's going to make a huge difference. And like I said, like I've recognized huge strides in like my health and just my strength of trying to land on 2 feet. Because I remember my first 2 years in the weight room, like I would try and do single leg stuff on my left leg, and I like it was so hard. I was like, why
Mhm.
can't I do a pistol squat on my left leg, but I can easily do it on my right? And it's like
Mhm.
because I would land in one leg and it was just so weak, and now it's like I feel more balanced, I feel
Mhm.
healthier, like, it's gone a long way for me, and I'm gonna still keep working on it because I feel a difference, so, yeah, it's
Yeah.
important.
I also tell people I think that most people will realize that you actually hit harder when you can pull your hips to the ball and land on two.
Yes,
And you can really get
you
your hips
do.
torqued into the swing, and I'm a
Mhm.
biomechanical nerd, like, I'm so about the biomechanics of volleyball, but, yeah, I tell people all the time, like, "I promise if you look at it, you will hit harder if you land on 2." but you have a lot more
Yes.
range landing on one. So I understand why people
Mhm.
do it. Like it's a
Yeah,
lot easier to hit 4 to 4 and land on one
it
foot.
is.
It
It
is.
is.
It just is.
Yeah.
So I definitely, and like you said, there are going to be times you can't land on
Mhm.
two. So still got to train everything. But that is, I think that's all I have on that subject. Do you want to talk about maybe your role on the team and how that
Mhm.
maybe changed when you had to take a step back for injury and now, I mean, you're naturally super energetic,
Yeah.
outgoing, and you're very like you have a good dominant
Yes.
presence on the court. So like I would assume you have more of a leadership role among the
Mhm.
girls. So like kind of how that's changed for you as you've gone in and out of, injury and playing.
Yes. So let's just go through my whole career, honestly. So my freshman year with Hugh, like my plan and my goal for college was always just to be a super well-rounded volleyball player. And my freshman year, preseason again, I actually got a stress fracture in my foot. So, and this is crazy because in high school, club, youth, I was never injured, knock on wood, never ever for my first 18 years of life. So, walking into college and getting injured, which feels like virtually my whole career, is honestly insane to think about. But
Yeah.
I think it just goes to show like how much the load is in college, how much things change. Like I'm practicing every single day. I'm not practicing twice a week and having a tournament on the weekends. Like
Hmm.
I'm lifting, I'm practicing every single day. So, I think just the stress and the overload caused that. So I ended up missing like my first 5 games of my freshman year, 5 or 6. And then I came back in Pepperdine, which was great. And I was a 3 rotation outside, but on that team, it was some of the best talent I've ever played
Right.
with. Like I was playing with Cece McGraw, Melanie, Jenna, like Carter, like we were stacked and it was a super fun year, even just to learn from Cece and Rachel, our liberos, about passing and how to pass in like a high level situation because club's different. Like I think
Totally.
everyone on our team, like you go to college and you're the best person in club in high school and you're not used to being not the best anymore, which is super important to learn from a young age. Is like you're gonna walk into college and you're gonna be the newbie and you're gonna have to learn to not be like that kind of person. So it took me a while to learn and to get adjusted. And I ended up loving that season for a whole bunch of reasons. I learned more about myself than I ever have in the past. I got better at skills that I wasn't great at in club, in high school, and USA. And then sophomore year, I got the 6 rotation role. And I also, that was a really, really hard year for me mentally. I just really struggled with relationships and just finding my joy for the game. Like, I think it just disappeared. It was very hard to stay like mentally intact. Like, I would
Hmm.
come to volleyball and my joy would just be sucked out of my day. And
Mm.
it was a weird situation to be in. I feel like I hadn't been in that situation before. I mean, change is hard. Some of the people I played
Hmm.
with were amazing. Kylie Murr was one of my favorite teammates I've ever played with. She's an amazing human being. She really fired me up. And I actually started that year on a super amazing note. And, just slowly over the year, I was struggling, like
Hmm.
openly. Like I was really having a hard time. And like some of my teammates like Kylie and Mel and Julia, my girl, was helping me through it, just trying to be confident and knowing that I'm here for a reason. And then my junior year was obviously that was the year that I wanted to be like everything
Hmm.
and more because I learned so much from my sophomore year. Like I was in a 6 rotation role, super fortunate, was working my butt off, but like, like the relationships, the personnel just wasn't, I was struggling. So my junior year, it was like, this is my year. Like we're gonna
Hmm.
make it all better. Like I just fixed it, and then that was the summer that I ended up hurting my back, and I was trying to play through injury, and playing through injury
Hmm.
is so mentally draining. And
Yeah.
yeah, I started that year in a 6 rotation role, and we played Stanford in Texas in the AVCA first serve, which was so much fun. Like it
Yeah.
was in my home stomping grounds. Got the final kill versus #1 Texas at the time. That was amazing. My whole family was there. And then we got to this tournament in Green Bay and I basically just texted Keegan and I was like, Keegan, like I'm going to be completely honest with you, like I can't do this anymore. Like I was just in so much pain. I couldn't really sleep at night. I was having problems like sitting in a chair for a very long time,
Oh
standing for a
wow.
very long time. So I just figured it was best for me to take a break and see if we could take some time off and try and calm it down.
Hmm.
So I ended up, I don't know how many games I missed, but I ended up coming back in at home against Indiana and Maryland. And I felt good. I went back to 6 rotations. I was feeling good. And it was kind of just to get back in the groove. So then I was feeling good, and then things kind of dropped off again. And then Keegan and I were talking about it. Keegan's like, why don't we just like we could use their offense the most, like we have plenty of DSs, Julia, like we have plenty of people who can play your back row, but like
Mhm.
we're gonna miss your offense, we're gonna miss your arm if we don't have it. So I was like, honestly, great. Like I'm 100% okay with that. Like
Right.
whatever's best for the team, I'm gonna be that person. So I wasn't gonna pout about it. I wasn't gonna complain. It was just I was in a lot of pain, but I didn't really have the stuff to redshirt that year. So I was
Mhm.
like, I'm just gonna make the most of this year. How can I help, Melanie have a best last season, just after all she put into Minnesota volleyball, like I wanted
Mhm.
to help her and to help our team like be successful. And if it was just to play front row, what Keegan said, then I was just gonna play front row. So I played front row, still struggled. Like I didn't really have the range. I didn't really wasn't able to hit line that much because of the rotation really hurt me. Um, so yeah, I did what I could. I think my blocking has gotten exceptionally better from that year because I wasn't able to contribute to the game and receive in defense. So I really worked on my blocking. I take pride in that now that I
Mhm.
realize how good I can be in blocking, and I still have a lot of potential to grow, but I just see the ball so much better in that aspect of the game. And then also my off blocker defense, like that was the year. I was like, if I could play defense, then this is my time. So
Mhm.
my off blocker defense has gotten also exceptional. Like if you tip on me, you're probably not going to score.
Right.
Like in our gym, like I think my teammates know that. Like you're not going to score a tip on me, and I think it just goes back to show that year of like how could I help my team in other spaces of the game when I couldn't be on the court all 6 rotations. And then also that year, it was really hard to like go off the court for 3 rotations because I would like get cold and then I'd have to
Yeah.
like heat my back and then I'd like go back in with like not too fresh of legs and my back was cold. So it was like kind of I got
Mhm.
used to it at the end, but it was definitely difficult to stay warm and just not being in the role that I wanted to be in, but like I wanted to win and there were people better for me to play my back row in that position. And then moving in to last year, obviously I redshirted last year because it was just the best thing for me. But my goal in last year was just how can I help the youngins to still be
Mhm.
successful and to step into bigger roles, especially unfortunately like when Alex got hurt. Like
Right.
how could I help Kelly be successful in the Big Ten as a freshman who hasn't had a lot of time on the outside yet?
Mhm.
And just honestly, all of our freshmen, like how could I help them when they came off the court, whether they were playing through rotations or whether it was a timeout, like I was helping them like with who's in front of you or what's open in the defense. And I think Kelly and I had a really good relationship when she would come off. She'd be like, hey, like if you ever see like anything open, like let me know. And I was for sure letting her know. And I just wanted to be the number one cheerleader. I could still
Love that.
yeah, I could still like kind of practice. I didn't practice every day. It wasn't the smartest thing to do,
Mhm.
but like when I could practice and when I was healthy, I was going to help the A side, like what they could see in the Big Ten. So
Mhm.
I was on the B side, killing the A side with Lauren and Georgia and Pedro, our
Mhm.
assistant coach. Like I had a lot of fun and I did everything I could to help them get better. So when they went on the court, they'd be successful. And I'm just so proud of them for the way they handled themselves. I think it's super easy for a freshman to walk in and like kind of be so overwhelmed to the point where they can't even perform. And I think Keegan and our staff just did a great job they do a great job recruiting. Keegan always says he's not going to bring someone on the team just to bring someone on the team. And
Mhm.
our freshmen last year and this year sophomores, they're amazing human beings. They work their butts off. They want feedback. They want to get better. And I just think it's really hard to find those kind of girls these nowadays.
Mhm.
It's like with the money, with everything being tossed around in college sports, it's really hard. And they just showed up and they balled out. And okay, we finished in the Sweet 16. And of course, all that goes to say to Stella, amazing leader on the court. She's one of our
Mhm.
captains and she's just an amazing human being. I'm so excited to play with her. We've been talking about our first game day together for I swear like 2 years now. So I cannot wait for that day. But I mean, Julia, our leader, our backbone, like she is a baller, and I'm so happy she finally got her time to shine. Because if she was just
Mhm.
hanging in the wings for 4 years, because Taylor and I were going to be together for 4 years, and things
Mhm.
changed so fast, and it just shows so much on her part too to like stay at Minnesota, you know? It's like
Mhm.
it's so easy for you if you're not going to play your freshman year to just leave, you know?
Yeah.
And say like our freshmen wouldn't have played this year. Like I still think they'd be here. Like that's just how much of a community Minnesota
Mhm.
is. And Keegan didn't lose a single person to the transfer portal at Washington, and we didn't lose a single person to the transfer portal this year. Like it just shows how much we care about community, how much we care about relationships, and I think it's just awesome to be in such a tight knit community. And like I said, I'm super proud of our freshmen and just how everyone carried themselves last year. Even though I wish I could be a part of it, but my goal this year is to be back in that six rotation outside and prepare for pro and win Minnesota a national championship and lead these girls because that's just been my dream ever since I was a freshman here. And finally, that I'm healthy and I'm able to do that, like then your confidence slowly comes back and your
Mhm.
relationships come back and you're not miserable playing volleyball anymore because you're in so much pain. Like I'm able to portray energy outwards. And I feel like when I was playing hurt, like I was so internal because I was like, guys, like I'm so sorry. Like
Mhm.
I just don't feel good. And I realized every time I'm in pain, I just go mute. Like I
Mhm.
don't know how to avoid it. And it's really hard to like think about it, like stay connected. But
Mhm.
that one year, like I was very internal. I was in so much pain. I didn't really know how to like help other people if I couldn't even help myself, you know? So I
Right.
did what I could, but now that like I'm healthy, like I'm working on giving energy outwards, helping the youngins, getting coffee with them. Like McKenna Cross and I are getting coffee on Tuesday. And I always get coffee with the
Oh,
freshmen. I just love doing it. I love getting to know them. Even when like
I love that.
Georgia and Kelly and everyone came in last year, I was like, let's go grab a coffee. I want to get to know you as a person, not as a volleyball player, because who knows?
Oh,
Like maybe you'll be at my wedding someday. Like these are my girls, you
right.
know? So I think it means more than just the volleyball side of things. Is like building relationships with your teammates. So I really wanted to help in any way I could, and then hopefully this year's my year, and that's my plan. And
It
Keegan
will
believes
be.
in me, Nelly
It will
believes
be.
in me, Spencer believes in me. So I think we have an amazing staff, and they're just helping me get back, honestly, to speed. Like I'm still getting my legs back. I haven't jumped 70 times in a really
Right.
long time. So these past 3 days have been pretty challenging on like just figuring out like how to get back into volleyball like I used to, but it's day 3. I know I'm super
Right.
stubborn. I'm really hard on myself, but it's only day 3. It's
Mhm.
January. It's not March or August, you know? So
Mhm.
I got a while. I'm still figuring it out, but even like my teammates, like they're so supportive of me. Like Stella's like, we know what you've been through the last year and a half today because I was just so upset. I was like, oh, like this is so frustrating. Like we're
Mhm.
doing pass to attack for a while and then I come off the court and I'm just like frustrated with myself. And Stella's like, girl, like we've seen you the last year and a half working your butt off. Like it's all gonna pay off in the end. And
Mhm.
yeah, I'm stubborn. I'm kind of a pain sometimes because I just want to be perfect, which it helps me in some aspects. And then it also is my like worst enemy in some
Mhm.
aspects. But yeah, so that's kind of my story. Hmm.
No, thanks for sharing because that was like
Of
perfect.
course.
But perfectionism is a double-edged sword for real because I
It
feel like I'm the
is.
same way. It's
It
so good because
is.
you want an athlete to want perfection, but they also have to
Yes.
understand that like you're never gonna achieve perfection, you know, at the same time.
Yes. Oh, it's so
Um,
frustrating.
yeah.
Hmm.
But I will say, I think your role last year, just helping everyone, like, I don't know, looking at it from my perspective, I'm like, you poured so much into them last year that they're gonna want to pour so much for you this year,
Hmm.
for your last year. Like, I can see you all having like such an incredible season because even some of those freshmen that wouldn't have played had the injuries not happened, like that
Hmm.
was a great, amazing experience for them. Like they're gonna use that and be so much better this year for it. And now you're gonna have like such a deep bench that like
Yeah.
if you need to go to people off the bench, they've got the experience to like come in and be hot
Mhm.
and be good. And so I don't I think that's gonna be like really good for you all to
Yeah.
like have had that and like they want to play
Mhm.
for you. I love Stella. She's one of my
She's the
favorite centers in the
best.
country. Like
Hmm.
she's unbelievably talented.
Hmm.
You all have a really deep libero position,
Yeah.
deep in the middle. I like
Hmm.
your options on the. I mean, you all have everything to make it work for sure. So, and I think the energy is really good. From even like last year, what I saw, like you all weren't down
Yes.
because of the injuries. You all were like, no, like what can I do to help make it successful season out of it?
Yeah, all of us, like me, Calissa, Zainab, and Alex, that was our goal is just like how can we still be here and how can
Hmm.
we contribute? Even if like we're in the training room, like just having some fun, like loosening the freshmen up. Like everyone can be so tight sometimes, but
Hmm.
how can you have some fun? And then even going back to like the other 3, like think about how good of a year they were having before unfortunately they got hurt. Like the
Hmm.
development in our program, like it shows a lot about how much they
Hmm.
developed. So that's my goal now is like I feel like even like when I was able to practice last year, like I'm a way better player than anyone's seen me play because I just it's smarter. Like I've always had like the fundamentals. Like I have a great arm, I can jump, I'm scrappy, all that stuff. But like now that like you figure out college volleyball, it's like it's not
Mhm.
hitting low seam, it's hitting high off the hands.
Mhm.
And it's like when you're the best player in high school and club, like you can just bang low seam and be good at
Mhm.
it. But it's taken a long time for me to like honestly grasp like the right thing to do, but I feel like he's helped me a lot of like when
Mhm.
it's this situation, you don't want to hit the ball 100 miles per hour because when I was in club, like I was never
It
allowed
would
to tip.
work. Right.
Yeah, like I didn't have to tip, and then it's like you learn how to tip again because it's like this should be the easiest thing. But when you grow up 18 years of your life never tipping a ball,
Mhm.
it's you got to learn different things. So I've been
Yep.
super open to learning. So I'm excited to finally be on the court and show off what I've been working on, even through all of the mess and all of the misfortune. But I'm happy it's happened to me because I'm a completely different person than I was
Mhm.
before it, and that just it teaches me to never take anything for granted anymore. I think a lot of the
Absolutely.
days I'd walk into practice and I'd just be like, oh, like just another day at volleyball. But now I walk into practice and I'm like, good morning, Keegan. Good morning, Spencer. Good morning, Nelly. Like, I'm just so happy to be here. And just, it's my last year. I only
Mhm.
have until December in Minnesota and then I have to go find a pro contract. And it's like you're in Europe and you don't have the relationships that you have with your
Mhm.
coaches here, like I'll probably be in Europe like calling Keegan or calling Hugh like, "Hey, like how are you guys?" Like
Yeah.
you're not going to have that relationship with your coach when you go pro. So, just enjoying my last moments and making it the best ones. Like I'm way more present where my feet are because, like when you're going through rehab, you're like, oh, I can't believe this happened to me. Like, oh, I just want to
Mm.
be out there. And even like when I still have bad days. I think like everyone who's coming back is still gonna have
Of
bad days.
course.
But then you're just like, oh, like what do I do? Like, how do I fix this? But like, it's just time, it's patience. But like I
Mhm.
said, I'm not the most patient person in the world. So, like I said, I can kind of be a pain sometimes because I just want to play volleyball and I want to play volleyball 100%. But like, even last year, like when I was able to practice, I wasn't able to do 100% of what I wanted to
Mhm.
do. So like I didn't receive a lot. Like I didn't dig a lot of balls. I didn't serve a lot of balls. So when I was told to not do those things, I was like, why? Like I'm fine. I'm fine. Just let me do it. But like
Mhm.
when someone says they're fine, they're not actually fine. But
1000%.
I I was just so frustrated, like, "Just let me play volleyball," or, like, one time I'd, like, hit a ball and I'd, like, come down in pain, and Keegan'd be like, "Oh, just take a break," and I'm like, "No, I'm fine, like, just let me play." Yeah, I'm so stubborn, but it makes me a better player, but, yeah, I'm just way more present where my feet are and not taking anything for granted this year, and I'm trying to make the most of each day, even though coming back is hard, but I know, like, even in a week from now, I'm gonna be so much better
1000%.
because 'cause I'm gonna get my legs back, I'm gonna feel good, but my connections with all the girls here, even, like, my 5th year, I think it's the best team we've had in terms of, like, people
Mhm.
in
I'd
a very
agree.
long time. So, yeah, everyone wants to learn, everyone wants to get better, and everyone wants to win, and, like, that's our goal is to win a national championship, and we've never done that at Minnesota, but I think we're finally, these past couple years, like, finally stringing together, like, what Minnesota
Yeah.
volleyball is in this new era because Keegan's been doing a great job, our staff's been doing a great job, and I also think it's weird. I think it's so funny that I've played for 13 coaches at Minnesota. 13.
That's crazy.
I know. I was counting yesterday because we're getting another new assistant coach because Pedro's the
Mhm.
head coach at MLV.
Oh, yeah, I did see that. Yep.
Yeah. And I was thinking about it. I'm like, wow, that's actually insane. But it goes to show like how good of a coach they become here because they're all leaving for head coaching jobs, you
Right.
know?
Absolutely.
Like Kristen left for Michigan State. Absolutely love her. Best human being ever. And look at what
Mhm.
she's doing at Michigan State in her first year. Already getting a contract extension. And then Pedro leaving for a pro job. Like just amazing. And our staff is amazing. And I'm super excited for Spencer. I mean, I've spent the last like 3 days with him and I love him. I love learning from him. I think he's great. And he's so smart in terms of volleyball. And that kind of reminds me a lot of Keegan of like they're so smart in what they do and like they're so technical, but they also like want you to play and like be successful. But
Mhm.
yeah, so I've spent the last 3 days with Spencer and I love him so far. And then we'll get a new one, and I'm also super excited about that. But Nellie's my girl. Nellie's great. So yeah, I have great relationships with all of our coaches now, and also throughout my last 4 years here. So. Mhm.
I love that. You're right. It does speak volumes that you all can go to that many coaches and still like
Yes.
cultivate a good culture.
Mhm.
Um, Now you mentioned going to Europe. So do you want to talk about what's next for you? Do you want to go to Europe or are you open to, love or MLV? Or are you definitely want to go? I mean, I love all three options, obviously. Like I
Mhm.
really want to grow. I want the USA leagues to grow, but I
Mhm.
do think for the sake of USA, like learning another system is great for fresh professional athletes. So I think both are great options. I would love to see the USA leagues get better and better as they are every year. But in terms of like getting for like an Olympic level position, like
Yes.
there's just a different system over there. And it's like you
Mhm.
see talent that we don't have. And the leagues right now aren't that super international talent in here yet. So I think it's just different to go over Europe. So what are you thinking? Are you open or you definitely want to go to Europe?
I'm like such a volleyball nerd that I watch like every single MLV game, every single
Same.
LOVB game, and every single European game that I can watch. I am such a nerd about it. And I'm honestly super open. I'm hoping to have the best year here that I have had my whole career and like leaving on a good note. So I get put in great positions to have access
Great.
to both. But I'm very open to both. I haven't really decided yet. I think getting injured kind of changes your perspective on things, whether you
Hmm.
want to go like abroad or US. So I think like probably like 3 months ago, I would have been like, I'm staying in the States. Like,
Hmm.
it's just kind of hard to leave when you're in like your worst times. But now that I'm feeling good, I'm feeling healthy, I'm like, Europe would be such a cool experience. But also, like, I think it'd be cool to play on my home grounds and play in my home soil. Like, it means a lot to go from like growing up not having a single American Pro League and now growing up and having access to that. I think
Right.
that's amazing. So I grew up saying like I get to go to Europe to play pro and now I'm like, well now I have both. So yeah, I'm 100% open to both. I'm just hoping to finish Minnesota on a super strong note, find success individually and collectively, win a national championship and then just, find my footing in volleyball back. I feel like I haven't been healthy most of my career, but now that I am, I'm ready to go. I'm so motivated
Hmm.
and that's just the best way I can put it is that I've been extremely motivated and yeah, can't say it any better. So,
Yeah, and I can tell
mhm,
like I can just tell you're so excited. Like
I am.
and I can speak from personal experience, like getting hurt is so mentally, like you said, draining. And then like
Yes.
as you're going through rehab, you're like all the questions, will I ever be the same? Now I can put all this work in, but will I ever
Yes.
actually be the same? Can I
Mhm.
push past it and be better? And then you have
Mhm.
everybody in your I'm sure you probably have heard it from other people too, where it's like either you're gonna be fine or no, it will be different.
Mhm.
And it's like no, watch me be better. Like, I'm gonna be better, I promise.
Yes.
And like wanting that so bad. And it's like
Mhm.
that's such a hard mentality to keep because ACL is 9 months. I don't know. I mean, it was
Yeah.
what, a year and a half for you. So
Yeah.
it's a really long recovery and to like just
Mhm.
stay really driven through it. And it looks like you are super on top of it and
Mhm.
way over it. And like you just look so excited to play. And I think, like
I
you said,
am.
you take things for granted before you get hurt. And once you're
Mhm.
healthy, you're like, I just want to play
You
good
do.
volleyball and my
Yes.
best volleyball I can
Mhm.
play and just leave it all out there on the court every time I touch the court.
Yeah, there were some days in there where I'd be like, "Am I ever gonna be able to play volleyball again?" And now that I'm here, I'm like, "This is amazing." Like, I would have never
Hmm.
said this a month ago. So yeah, I mean, obviously, like, you're coming back, you're still gonna have bad days, you're still gonna have
Right.
questions. But I think the biggest thing with like backs though is like it's not an easy fix. And I think that's why it's
Hmm.
taken so long for me to get here because first off, like the imaging doesn't show a lot, and then I'm trying to explain my pain, and I'm just like, you know what? Like when you're in pain, like you like don't even know where it starts. Like you're just like so
Completely agree.
lost. You're just so lost in your body. You're so lost in your mind. It's like I don't even know. Like I'm just hurting. Like I don't even know. But
Mm.
yeah, it's been a long road to recovery, and I'm happy to be here. I'm obviously still gonna keep getting better in my recovery to be even better in the fall, but yeah, I'm just super grateful to even be saying that I am healthy because a year ago I wouldn't have said that. And I even like just my background on my phone is just like this inspirational quote that's like you're gonna get lost at sea. You're never gonna know how you got into the sea, whether you're actually out of it, but at the end of the day, you're gonna be a better person at the end of the day. So, like making it through the storm, making it through the sea, like
Hmm.
the sun's always gonna rise at the end of the day, and I feel like it's finally rising.
Hmm.
it's weird. It's also I think about it and I'm like in the locker room and I'm like, dang, I'm the oldest on the team now. Like I remember when
Mhm.
I was the youngest and like
Right.
Cece was my mom and now I'm the mom and it's weird like coming in with Julia and seeing Julia in pro and like we still text every single day and I'm like, who's my pepper partner? Like
Oh.
and like even like senior night last year, Julia's like, we're not graduating together, and it's just like it's so weird. But like seeing what like she laid down here, like I just hope to keep Minnesota volleyball where it is and where everyone knows it's going to be. Like it's always a legendary program, and I feel like that's kind of gotten lost in translation, and I don't really know why. But like we are amazing. Like I
Yeah.
committed here for a reason, and Keegan is doing an amazing job just being Minnesota volleyball. And I think it's for the better than it was even my freshman year coming in. So it's still growing. And the like even I think over the last year, just building my mental capacity back,
Mhm.
it was so hard because I feel like with college sports nowadays, like social media is really hard. It's exploded,
Mhm.
especially that volleyball has exploded and the revenue sharing and the NIL has exploded. So last year was hard because everyone's like questioning why I wasn't playing and why I
Mhm.
was able to practice some days but not able to play on the court. And I can't tell you how much hate I've gotten on Instagram for just
Really?
not playing last year, and like you're mentally trying to recover and like this is what's
Right.
best for you, but like no one knows the full background. So I'm super happy you asked me to do this just to, like
Yeah.
kind of just get it out there of like now that I'm healthy, like I'm not scared to share my story, but last year I would have been like I don't want to talk about it. Like anytime someone
Mm.
asks me about my back, it's like I'm good. Like I don't want to talk about it. Yeah, so I can't tell you how much like negativity and hate I was just getting for being myself, and you
And
start to
doing
question
what's best for you.
yeah, you start to question so many things of whether like do I even belong here anymore? Like am I good enough to play college volleyball? And it's like now I look at it and I'm like I had such a successful prep career for a reason. So I don't know why
Mhm.
I'm just giving up on that right now. And like now that I'm able to see the other side of it, it's like I don't even care what other people think of me. Like it's the best thing
Mhm.
for me. It was the best thing for our program. Like I wasn't gonna put myself out there and play
Mhm.
hurt when like I know Kelly or Carly or Alex was gonna play better than me. Like play them.
Right.
Like they deserve it. Like I'm not healthy. I'm not able to compete at that rate. Like I just don't think it's the best thing for me. And I just want the best thing for this program. I want to win. And like I just it wasn't smart enough for me to go out there. Like that wasn't fair. So yeah, I hope people understand that like I'm not like this big douche who just is gonna play because I feel like I'm the best. Like no, like I want us to
What's
win.
best, right.
And yeah, and that's just it was so hard to see the other side of it when you're
Mhm.
like trying to just enjoy like social media for like what it is
Mm.
and like reposting my friends' awards, like Julia's awards and go for volleyball posts about like how our freshmen are doing amazing. But then it's like when people reply to you and are like get out, like no, that hurts, you know? So
That's
yeah,
so
I'm just
crazy.
yeah, like
I hate people. And
yeah.
you know what they're doing?
Mhm.
Sitting on their couch, not doing anything.
That's
Like,
what I'm
that's
saying.
what's so crazy to me.
Yeah, and when you get it so much, you start to believe it. And now that
Oh,
I'm on the
absolutely.
yeah, and now that I'm on the other side of it, I'm just like, well, like, oh, it is what it is, and now I'm here for the better, you know? So when I was like mentally down low, like you start to believe it, and I was really struggling because I was like, is that actually how people see me? Is like I'm competing because I want to save my eligibility? Like, no, that is not it. Like
Yeah.
I'm not playing because I'm hurt and I need to recover.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's so
that
crazy
was
to me
hard.
because given the roster you all had, if
Mhm.
anything, it would have like as a viewer, I would have been like, I'm surprised she didn't push through the injury to play with the squad you all had.
I
Like that was
wish.
my thought.
Yeah.
I was like,
Mhm.
I'm surprised she's redshirting with the seniors that are going to be leaving. Like
Yeah.
that was my original because obviously I didn't
Mhm.
know the ins and outs of the injury and I wasn't going to ask you
Yeah.
at the time, obviously.
Mhm.
Um, but it's like I, as somebody who's been injured again, like I get it. I'm like, if she's redshirting, given the seniors that are leaving, it's for a reason. Like
Yeah.
she must be really hurting to redshirt. And I knew when I saw your post
Mhm.
about redshirting, I was like, oh, she's really hurting. There's no way she would have redshirted unless she needed
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, and just playing that whole 2024 like injured was it was really hard
Mm,
physically and mentally. Like I would be scared to take a swing because I didn't know how it was going to end up for me physically,
mm.
you know?
That's tough. That's tough.
Yeah. So I'd go bang the angle and then I'd try something new. I'd try and go 4 to 4 or throw a roll shot in and I'd be like, ow, like that doesn't feel right. That doesn't feel good. And the
Mm,
next ball, like I feel like I'd have to tip. And that's why I kind of felt bad for our setters because I'd like solely have to communicate, like, hey, that's a great set. I just couldn't take a swing on that. And I just physically for my health, like I had to throw in a tip because I needed to take like not a play off,
mhm.
but like I just had to do what was best for me in the moment to like
Right.
save myself, you know? And like sometimes you just got to throw it in there and like move on in the rally. You can't like linger on it so much, but if it's a bad play, you just got to save it and move on. But
Mhm.
yeah, I did my best to communicate and yeah, there were some swings that I was scared to take because I
Mhm.
didn't know how I was going to end up or even like landing on one leg was pretty scary at the time because a lot of my back was left-sided and I would land on my left leg and I'd like
Mhm.
fall over my side and I'd be in a lot of pain. So, yeah, it was
Yeah.
just I think a lot of the injury was just like learning how to play volleyball more efficiently. So that's landing on two
Mhm.
feet, getting to different balls with my feet instead of like reaching so far on my right. Like I would leave
Mhm.
balls off my right a lot. And that also limited my ability to hit line. So when I'd leave the ball off my right and like try to bring it back to the line, like so hard, couldn't do it. Like
Yeah.
physically wasn't able to do it. And now that I'm learning how to get my feet to the ball, I'm landing on 2 feet, I'm moving in shuffles and not just sprawling on the floor
Mhm.
and hurting my body. You know, I'm just learning how to play volleyball more efficiently. And I feel like that's just going to help me when I go pro too, is like I know how to take care of my body better than I ever had
Yeah.
before. And obviously, you're not going to learn how to do that until you have to go through some misfortune. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, I think it's just made part of my journey even better because now
Mhm.
I have something more to play for is like I'm playing for the girl at when I was 5 years old, like growing up to play volleyball and dreaming about playing college volleyball and now I mean I lost my mom when I was young. Like I've always been playing for my mom and
Mhm.
now it's like I'll play for my mom and show her that like I can play through injury too and like be healthy and come back from that and like I just have so much more to play for, you know, like you just want to be your best when your time comes up in college and like now that I've gone through more injury than I have in my whole career, like I said I was never hurt in high school or club, which
Mhm.
was amazing, but you know, it catches up to you at some time. So
Yeah.
now it's just like I'm motivated to have my best year yet because my first four, like I was struggling physically, mentally, and now that I'm way better physically, mentally, I have great
Mhm.
relationships. I have people who support me here and a huge family that I want to play for them and I want to play for the people around me and the program. It's something way bigger than myself, you know, and yeah, and I still get to play for my mom, so super happy. Mhm.
I love that. I was gonna say that. And this leads me into like I always say like everything happens for a reason.
I agree.
And like you said, if you didn't have this, you would not have learned how to properly take care of your body for the next level.
I agree.
You couldn't have poured into the young players the way you did last season had you not gotten hurt. And I really do think that like the way you were able to like overcome the injury and just
Mhm.
pour into them, like they want to play for you this year. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like you can just tell. So I don't know. I just think everything happens for a reason. And like it really doesn't matter how good your first 4 years are or how bad they are
I
if
agree.
you end on a good note, like you're
Mhm.
going to get like look at Julia. She had great seasons
Exactly.
before, but
Mhm.
her last year at Minnesota was unbelievable. I mean, she was one of my absolute favorite players to watch. Minnesota's
She's the
always one of my favorite
best.
teams to watch,
Mhm.
but Julia is
Mhm.
just so good. And I feel like
Yeah.
she really had to step up even and it's crazy because she was already doing so much for the team. And then when
Mhm.
everyone got hurt, she had to go and take on like an even bigger load. And to see her just be like, yeah, it's fine. Just give me 25 more attempts per set. It's fine. I can do it.
Yeah.
And to take care of business the way she did, it's like,
Mhm.
and then have the offers she had. It all it takes is one good season and you have everything open for you. So I
Yep.
know that you're going to be just fine.
Thank
And
you.
you seem like definitely in a great headspace for it.
Mhm. I do, and, like, I've learned so much from Julia too, is, like, the first 2 years, like, she was just a role player, and then you come on
Hmm.
your 3rd year, and Keegan just tells her, like, "I can't hide you anymore," and she goes out there and balls out and is an All-American both years she gets an opportunity, and now she's
Hmm.
playing for love, like, she's amazing, and I think I learned a lot from her last year too, is, like, she never complained, like, people would get hurt, she'd, you know, like, feel bad for them, like, reach out to them, that's just who she is, but at the end of the day, like, she'd go on the court and, like, wouldn't complain, 4 people are hurt, you know, like she's playing with
Mhm.
new people and she's trying to help them, but at the same time, like she's doing what she does best is like go kill the ball and do
Mhm.
everything great. But she never held her head. She was like, let's go do this. Like we're winning.
Mhm.
She hates to lose. Like I think her and I would butt heads so much because we'd be like fighting about calls in practice. And at the end of the day, I was like, Julia, you can have it. It's okay. But yeah, like she's one of the most competitive people I've ever played with, and our relationship has grown so much. Like I said, we still text every single day, which it's happened with some of my teammates from college, but not as much as Julia and I have yet. And I'm so happy for her that she's got to succeed at Minnesota because it's her home state. She's playing for her home university
Mhm.
and she's going to do great things in love. But yeah, I learned a lot from her. It's just like, just move on like fast. She would make a
Mhm.
mistake and just be like, okay, next ball, and would just get
Yeah.
on things fast. But I feel like my first 4 years, like I'd hang on to mistakes too long and like it would
Mhm.
affect me in the next play. But now that like I've played with Julia and I've learned her, she's just like, you have to move on so quickly. And that's
Yep.
just what made her so good. Is like she'd make an error and like wouldn't complain. But yeah, she never complained who she was playing next to. She never held her head on how much misfortune we were dealt last year, and she still went out there and was a second team All American. So
Yeah.
it was just a
And
fitting career for her. I'm happy for her.
arguably should have been first team, but that's neither here nor
I
there.
know, I know.
Especially even if you just look at it statistically, but it's
Oh
fine.
yeah.
um,
Even our junior year, I was like, "What do you mean?
no,
She's
no,
like
I know.
top 4 in the Big Ten in kills per set, and she's an honorable mention." Like,
Yeah, there was
but
a lot
yeah.
of questionable decisions I had for them this year.
But yeah, I'm
Um,
happy that she was finally recognized last year. So
yeah,
she
I
deserves
love
it.
that.
Mhm.
I love that, and I really want to see her get the start. I think that that's what that team is
Mhm.
missing, and the in the pro scene right now is
Yes.
her playing.
Just an
Personally,
opportunity, you know?
yeah, just let her like
Yeah.
look at Eva Hudson. She
Oh,
got the opportunity to
Eva's the
start in.
best. I
Yeah,
love her.
I love
Mhm.
her. She's actually I'm interviewing her in the morning tomorrow. So
Aw. Yeah, I
yeah.
played USA with her.
Oh yeah.
I loved it so much. She's such a goof. She's my
Yeah.
favorite.
She's
Mhm.
another intense one, but I love intensity,
Yes.
but I definitely agree
Same.
with Julia too.
Same.
I
Mhm.
love the mentality of like good or bad, no matter what just happened, you have to move on. Like it's volleyball.
Yes.
It's one of the few sports where it doesn't matter if you just bounced a ball or if you just hit it 55 feet
Mhm.
out back to Wisconsin. It doesn't matter what you
Literally.
just did. The
Mhm.
ball moves on. Like it doesn't. I mean, you
Yes.
can take the momentum with you, good momentum with you, obviously,
Mhm.
but it does not matter what just happened.
Yes.
The
And I
next play
think,
is a brand new play.
yeah, one of the things Keegan's keeps telling us is like, it's not you, it's volleyball. Like
Hmm.
volleyball is different every single point, and if you keep the last ball with you to the next, it's gonna mess you up even more. So
Hmm.
keep saying like it's not you, it's volleyball, and it's the ball, and you just have to keep constantly adjusting. And like things might go really high at one point, and then you'll drop, and then you'll come back up even higher the next time. So you just have to keep constantly adjusting. So. Mhm.
Right now, I mean, if you have more that you want to talk about, we definitely can. But I was gonna say, do you want to end with like what's your all's team? I think every team usually has like a motto or a phrase for like their next season. Do you want to kind of like talk about what your all's is?
I don't really know if we have one. We're a huge values team. Like we
Okay.
go through a slideshow every single spring. We update it in the middle of spring, preseason, and we just have a ton of values and like growth and improvement, commitment isn't conditional, interdependence, happiness and joy, you know? So I think we really live by our values, and our values is kind of like our motto. But I think like I could just lay one down for this year is I think we just now that we have so many people who have had starting positions and we have so much depth and
Hmm.
stuff like that, like we're just ready to go and we just want to prove who Minnesota Volleyball is. I mean, our goal is always to win Minnesota Volleyball its first national championship, and we talk about it. We just talked about it on Monday. Like that is our goal, and everything that we do in our program is people values volleyball. So people first, values volleyball. You know, that's like our 3 things, and then all of our values are just kind of the land we live by. So, yeah. Mhm.
I love that. I think you're gonna be the light bulb for Minnesota this year. It's like every team needs somebody that's gonna be like, all right, I'm taking you with me. Like I'm taking you with me on the journey. And then when they all buy into like one person's leadership, like
Mhm.
I only know that because when Kentucky won in 2020, I was at Kentucky
Yeah.
and I like knew a bunch of the girls and like they were all saying
Mhm.
like that was Madison's thing. Madison Lily,
Mhm.
she came back and was like, we're winning. And she was like,
Yeah.
you either get on the bus or don't. And she like
100%.
brought everybody with her, and they just all bought in eventually. Like they were like, we can win. So I think it's like you clearly have that super high drive for that, and it's like you're gonna bring people along with you and make it happen for them.
Yeah, I'm so competitive even in practice when we play like baby court right now. It's like 2v2 and I'm a huge like lead by example kind of person. I'm going to go for every single ball. I'm going to maximize everything I have, every single rep,
Hmm.
and I feel like that's just what I've been trying to do the last year. Like last year I probably wasn't the most vocal person because I mean I wasn't going on the court and
Right.
playing, but like what was I going to do on the B side when I was able to play to make A side better? You know, and talking to those girls in my position group, but I'm just huge on being super specific in my reps and making the most of them. And I'm never going to let a ball hit the floor. And I'm going to maximize everything I do. And yeah, that's just kind of the way I play volleyball is like, if you're not going to go for the ball, like I'm going to tell you, like, come on, and I'm not telling you this because I know you can't do it. Like, I'm telling you this because I've seen you get that ball before,
Hmm.
you know? So that's just kind of how I see volleyball now is like,
Right.
if I'm telling you something, like I'm telling you it because I know you can do it.
Hmm.
And I feel like it's only gonna help me, like, when I get older and in pro and, like, playing with younger girls, I think is awesome. Even, like, I'm coaching right now, and I just, like I play volleyball. Like, when I coach volleyball, I see, like, me playing, and I'm
Hmm.
looking at my girls, and I'm like, "I know you can get that." Like, sometimes, like, my girls will, like, stop and hesitate, or they'll look at me, and I'm like, "Girls, you've done this so many times, like, you
Right.
have so much potential, you just have to believe in yourself." And I feel like I'm still learning that too, is, like, I still need to believe in myself. I feel like coming back from a major injury, you just have to regain your confidence and
Hmm.
trust why you're there and how you got there. And yeah, it comes down a lot to like, I cared a lot when I was young, but I think a lot of it comes from my competitiveness and how personal I am with the people around me and how much I want to get better, how much I want to grow. But at the end of the day, I want to win. And
Absolutely.
I wanna win and I wanna grow and I wanna develop where I'm at. I mean, I've been at Minnesota for 4 years. I feel like that says a lot in terms of, like, my loyalty and just trusting the people around me and my coaching staff. But, yeah, I think the loyalty says a lot that I'm at a place where I think we can win and I believe we can win, and that's our goal this year is just to win a national championship and bring something back to Minnesota that's never been done before, even though we've had an exceptional number of teams throughout the year, a lot of
Hmm.
Final Four teams, but we've just never gotten to the top. And I think last year, like starting 5 freshmen and you're making it to the Sweet 16, like
Absolutely.
they're going to be sophomores this year and they're going to have so much experience already. And that's just going to help us even more. And then,
Hmm.
you know, when all of us come back healthy, we're going to have so much depth. And like that's what we were going to have last year. And unfortunately, we just didn't have the depth that we were
Hmm.
planning on having. And now that we're going to have even more this year, like I'm just excited. I can't wait. I'm just super happy that all those freshmen got so much experience because when they get thrown into a game, they're going to
They'll be
be
ready.
amazing and they're
Hmm.
not even going to be scared, you know? So, yeah, I'm so excited. I can't say it any better.
Yeah, I'm really excited for you guys. I don't think I have any other questions. Do you have any like last words for people or anything else you want to add?
I don't think so. I'm so happy to be back and I want to make the most of it. And yeah, I'm ready. I'm motivated. I cannot wait to step foot on the court in August. And I'm just ready to prove what McKenna Wucherer is and who she is and just leading Minnesota to the Final Four to the national championship and believing in everyone around me is what I've been known for my whole life is that if I can't kill a ball unless Zaynep or McKenna Gar digs the ball and Stella sets me and I can get a kill. Like
Hmm.
I'm not able to do what I'm able to do without them, you know? So just giving credit to where credit's due. I'm huge on that. So if someone gets a huge dig, but someone gets an even better kill, like I'm the first person to go see that person who dug the ball. So just giving back to something that's way bigger than myself and making the most of it. But yeah, I'm ready to prove who McKenna Walker is, and I'm just happy to be back on the court. That's the biggest thing. I'm just super grateful to even be saying that I'm in this position and being healthy and being on the court, and just super thankful to all my doctors and my training staff and my coaches for believing in me and helping me get here. So, and thank you for having me on here and let me share my story because I feel
Oh,
like I haven't been able to do that. And
yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
just so happy that you're someone who's growing the game and is allowing these girls to share their stories. And I think the people who are super young, even like the 10-year-old girls watching this, I just hope I can influence or connect to one of those girls and help them get on their volleyball journey just how I experienced it and just enjoy volleyball as much as I've enjoyed volleyball my whole life. So I just hope to inspire some young girls and yeah, allow them to play the game that I love too. Mhm.
Oh, I love that. I hope, and I know that there's definitely going to be younger players that are injured that aren't in college yet
Mhm.
that get to watch this, hopefully, and will
Mhm.
learn like it is possible to come back and
It
really be an
is.
inspiration for them. So I really
Yes.
appreciate you coming on here too and
Mhm.
sharing your story with me, letting me be the one, the vessel.
Yes.
um, and I look super forward to watching you all play this fall. Like Minnesota's
Mhm.
always, 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 always. Anyone that actually knows me knows that I've always been a huge fan of Minnesota volleyball. And
Mhm.
I'm just really excited to watch you all play and do really good things in the Big Ten.
Yes, I'm so excited. Thank you so much. I appreciate
Thank you.
it.
You're
Mhm.
so welcome. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you, of course.
Bye.
Bye.